Let's go over fan page insights and let's hear what my Facebook ad account rep has to say about it. Be sure to stick around and hit the subscribe button down below, hit the little bell up in the corner, and get notified every time that we put out a new video.
Hello Jedis, this is your princess, and on this video it's kind of a follow-up to the page engagement and engaging with the content on your page. I wanted to talk about pages again. I want to show you one of the most important tools that you should, well, some of the most important tools under the most important tab that you should be using on your page itself. So I'm going to click Insights here. This has a lot of insightful information, no pun intended there. But that's the whole, keyword to that is insightful. There's a lot of insights that a lot of people don't even know exist. So this, although we're not going to go over every part of one of these tabs here, this particular overview tab will show you a small breakdown of the different sides here. So page likes right here, reach, page views, post engagements, then you have your messages. That's going to be under your message tab, obviously. Either way, though, like I said, I'm going to break down some of the most important. So first and foremost, I'm going to click on post. This is of utmost importance to an advertiser because remember, not only can you schedule posts to run for a certain time, but you can also schedule them by time as well. So we can see here that for this particular advertiser, user on the page, or user on Facebook for that matter, you can see that Monday through Friday essentially, well, we'll say Sunday through Saturday being that it's laid out that way, the average is about, it's the same. It's the same amount of people that are getting on, the same amount of fans that are using and looking at the platform and actually looking at the particular post at the same time, well, not the same time, but throughout the same days of the week essentially. Now down here we can see that most people are on at about 9 a.m. I mean, even down to, like, we could do it around 7 a.m. 7 a.m. to about 10 p.m. at night for that matter. That is of utmost importance again, because when you're scheduling out your posts, you can do them by time as well, not just from to start and schedule at a certain time, but you can actually have your ads run at a certain particular time of the day, so that you're not wasting revenue on, at the time that somebody's on at 3 a.m. and they may not even see your posts at all. Like, your post might be sent out during that time, but according to this, nobody's really engaging with it. So this is good for advertisements as well, because again, we want to schedule out our ads for when people are actually going to be engaging with that content the most. Chances are, if they're engaging with your page the most at that time of the day, the same particular user is probably going to engage with your ad at the same time as well. Now, I'll post publish. I'm going to come back to this because there is something that I want to stick in your brain at the very end of this video. I want to be able to show you something you can be checking as well, because remember, we can use the same content for an ad that we use for a post before, as long as it fits the advertising guidelines. So right now I'm going to click on post types. What a shocker. That video by far does the best on the platform. I've said that almost in every single video that I've done where I talk about ad creative and I say video does by far the best on the platform. This shows here as well that video does the best on the platform. We can see that the engagement is huge, that it crushes photos, it crushes links that were shared. Either way, video does the best as far as creative goes, whether it's a post or whether it's an ad. Keep that in mind, guys. The next thing I'm going to go down to is people. Let's look at people engaged. This is especially good if you are a brand new advertiser on the platform and you have started just doing, your simple organic posts. You have run a couple page likes so you can see who has liked your page and people that are engaging with your content. People reached is okay. Again, our algorithm is going to reach to the people that you set to reach it to when you send out an ad. So what I tell my clients is, for the most part, you want to look at people engaged. We want to see who's engaging with your content the most. And then at people engaged, it's going to show your fans as well anyway. So from here, you can see who your fan base is anyway. So rather than having to click here, you can click people engaged, and it's going to show who's engaging with most of your content as well. In this case, it's mostly men at 70 or 67% from the ages of 18 to 44. So what I would tell an advertiser is, you know what? If you wanted to do an ad set to men or a campaign, send it out to men, have that predominant ad set be out to men 18 to 44, they're going to engage with your content probably the most in an ad as well, as they're engaging with your content the most on the actual page itself. I wouldn't necessarily say disclude women entirely. You could try out an ad set to see how it would go. A/B test it, see if women are even worth your time. Mind you, this is for a newer advertiser, only because they are getting traction. 18 to 44 women are also getting traction as well. But for somebody established like our Jedis, who has actually tried essentially sending this out to women, may not be the best suit. Either way, though, take a look at this. See if people engage. You may send out an ad to women between the ages of 18 to 44 and get a lot of traction with women. And those women go, oh, I didn't know that this advertiser exists before. Let me like their page now. Let me start engaging with their content now. This number may rise. Either way, take note of this. If you're an advertiser that is also sending stuff out to different countries, also take note of the countries that are engaging the most. So right now it's the US. I do know for a fact that this advertiser currently is only sending stuff out to the US, but if they are targeting other countries, chances are these numbers are going to rise, and you're going to be able to see which country is engaging the most essentially. It breaks it down via city for those advertisers that are in the US and only targeting one state. Let's say you are a pest control company and you only have a pest control service in Arizona for that matter. And you wouldn't want to break it down via the US entirely. You would want to break it down via state and then possibly city from there. So languages, I don't really ever target via language, to be completely honest. I don't put that in there as a demographic because you could have somebody in the US that does speak Spanish, but when you break it down just via Spanish, it's going to kind of mess with the algorithm and break it down in a way that you wouldn't want it to. So I wouldn't necessarily pay attention to that, but I would definitely pay attention to country, cities. If you are one of those advertisers that is in a particular city, in a particular state, that is broken down that way, and then people engage. Not only can you see your fans in the gray area, you can see your people engaged in the darker areas. So I'm not going to go over messages, not going to go over anything else, because again, you have your message tab up here. You have your notifications up here, but overview-wise, that is what I wanted to show you. I did promise that I was going to go back to posts and show you one more thing. So what I want to show you is that these are all posts published. This means anything that has ever been published on this particular page itself. These are basically the feedback that you've gotten from a particular post. So what I wanted to show you essentially was that you can click on any post that you have, and this pop-up window is going to pop up. Mind you, this is for a particular post itself. This isn't just for anything that is actually paid. So this is just an organic post. So I clicked on another post here, and you can see this is a picture that they use. You can see all the comments, different people who have reacted to it. You can see the feedback that you've gotten from it. People reach comments, reactions, and shares. The type of comments, reactions, and shares. So you can see the different reactions. 6 people were angry, probably because they're not educated on this. But again, that's just an opinion. So either way, it makes them sad too. People are wowed by it. Some people love it. It's been shared 59 times. And then it's had negative feedback. 2 people hid the post. It does send negative feedback to the post, but does that really, do 2 people out of 5,791 really matter? I'm going to say no. But if you had a post that had a ton of negative feedback, the reason I'm showing you this to begin with is because let's just say, obviously, we wouldn't want to use this particular picture because it has way too much text in it. But if this was a picture or a video that didn't have a ton of text on it, the reason this would be good for you to check is because that might be good creative for you to use for an advertisement as well. Because this particular post didn't have very much negative feedback on it. You did have a lot of reactions to it, comments, shares, Again, this picture wouldn't be good because we know that 20% text rule, it doesn't disapprove ads anymore, but it limits your reach. So I wouldn't use this picture, but again, using this as an example just because it was the first post that I clicked on as an example as to essentially if it was a picture that fit that rule or creative that fit that rule, this could be a good photo to use as in a slideshow or in a video or in a still image or in a carousel ad for that matter. Again, I'm not a fan of still images, but either way, I hope you guys get the gist of it. You want to make sure that you are using creative that people will engage with. So it'll just give you ideas on what you can and can't use or what you should and shouldn't be using in your advertisements as well. Let's click on one more just to take a look at it. This is just a silly post that probably doesn't have anything to do with this actual content, only because I know what this advertiser is all about. But again, and I actually tell my clients that too. Hey, go on here, post silly stuff. I use Tasty as an example, to be completely honest with you. Let me pull them up real quick here. The reason I use them as an example when I'm talking to clients about the different silly things that they should, post as content or post as even partial advertisements or use within a carousel for that matter, is because every now and then Tasty will post. They're all about recipes. They're all about videos. They do have photos every now and then. But what they do is they post silly things like this particular advertiser did just to get engagement on their page, just to get different likes on their page, because people will share silly things like this. There was 18 shares, 17 to, so 27 shares on here. This post has nothing to do with the product that this particular advertiser is advertising. However, with Tasty, they posted there are two kinds of people. Crunchy taco, like veggie taco pizza, and then these damn good tacos from your local taco stand that are just delicious. They had 40,000 shares on this. So if you have some silly content that you can put out there every now and then, even in an ad, just to get a user's attention, use it. It will not do you wrong. You saw that example with Tasty there. Look at your post content to make sure that you look at the feedback to see what posts are getting a lot of engagement. If it is feasible and you think it's good creative for an ad, make sure that you use it. So either way, definitely just wanted to go over those page insights because it is something important that everybody, every advertiser, every user on the platform should be looking at. Thanks, guys.